Okay, so we are live here. Good morning. Hi. Okay. Um, Good morning. I need to set this camera so that it. Oh my God. So, so sorry about that. Um, okay. Hi. Good morning. Uh, Good morning to you, and welcome to Upskilling 5 million African Freelancers in 5 years. This is another edition. It's great to be here once again. Good morning. Good morning. Wherever you're joining us from, welcome you today on Upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. And you can connect with us. We are on LinkedIn. We are also on Facebook. We are on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. So connect with us and send in your questions. We've got guests that we want to talk to today, and of course, our topic today is on business analysis. So if you are interested, hello Joshua, good morning to you too. Victor is Canadian, good morning to you too, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, wherever it is you're joining us from, I welcome you once again. Please share your link with the people on your contact list so that people can. Let me know if you can hear me. Is my volume okay? Give me a raised hand if you can hear me. I'm not sure my volume is okay, so let me know if you can or not. Um, okay. All right. So good morning, and welcome, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. I might have to turn this off.
Okay. Hi, good morning. Let me know if you can hear me. I can't seem to be, let me know if you can hear me. All right, good morning to you, everyone. Hi, Ryan. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining. Tolulokwe, welcome. Thank you. Rosa, I believe that's a pronunciation of your name. Thank you so much for joining. James from Malawi, thank you for joining. Please share the link with your contact list so that others can join in. Evans Kimathi from Kenya, thank you for being a part of today. Thank you so much. We've got our guests today and we'll be talking to them in a short while, but we just need to allow a few people join us this morning before we proceed to talking to our guest this morning. All right. Great. Thank you, Joshua, for that. Thank you. It's good. Thank you so much. All right. So go ahead and share the link wherever you're watching us from. Share the link with your contact list. We are on LinkedIn. We are on YouTube. We're also on Facebook. So share the link and let them join and be a part of this community that we have set up right here. Okay, good morning once again and welcome. Great. Buluwatife, thank you so much for that feedback. Thank you so much. I was worried that my volume was a little, off, but thank you for that. All right, John, some seed. Thank you for joining. Good morning to you too, and of course, Biola, thank you for joining. Good morning to you too. Buluwatife, thank you for joining. Good morning and welcome. All right. Okay. In a short while, we'll be joining our guest, and our guest will be joining us. Of course, we'll be talking about business analysis. So, if you are someone who is interested in being a business analyst, now in this phase of remote work, freelancing, all sort of skills are up, and so you want to be a part of this. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so if you're just joining us, welcome. It is Upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. So join in the conversation, send us your questions, and I'll ask, the guest your question. But we also need you to share the link so that other people as well would know that something of this magnitude is happening right now. Engineer Anthony, good morning to you too and welcome. Chini's Success, good morning to you too. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Idowu Olufemi, good morning and welcome. All right. So in a short while, we'll be bringing in the guests, and of course, we've got some questions lined up for them. They'll be answering our questions today. So if you have any questions at all, you can drop them and I'll get to ask them. Okay. Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning. Okay, I cannot seem to hear you. It's still getting ready. Okay. Let's see if I can set this camera a little better so that this is better here. Okay. Hi, good morning. Okay, I don't want this to be in. So hi, good morning. Are we set?
Good morning. Good morning, I'm here.
Great.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great, I can hear you now. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, this is on to upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years, but you are not a stranger, you are family. So I wouldn't need to introduce you that way. So go ahead. Everyone needs to.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you for coming. My name is Adekunle Olusara. I'm the Director of Business Partnership and Strategy for SourceIn Business. I'm the coordinator of the mentorship program. Of course, as we all know, the goal is to upskill 5 million Africans over the next 5 years. We're currently on the first stream, where we have about 700 participants the mentorship program. We have 16 different faculties. We've got over 20 modules. And as we near the end of the first course, yes, we got some feedback as well. Okay.
There seems to be an echo sound.
Yeah, I think this some tech issue. I'm getting some echo from your hand as well.
What?
I'm getting some echo from your hand as well.
There shouldn't be any echo because I'm using only one device and the microphone is off, so there shouldn't be an echo. Are we good now?
Yes, we should be good now.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay, Mr. Dusina, please go ahead with the introduction.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm still getting that echo. I don't know why that is the case. Especially from you, when you talk at you twice. So maybe so can I step out of the call for a bit and come back in?
Okay. Okay. Wow. Hi, good morning and welcome.
Okay, so it's trying to reconnect, right?
Okay.
Is it trying to reconnect?
Okay. So, you got an echo from my end too. Is that still an echo from my end too?
Yeah, there's an echo from your end.
Okay, I'm going to try to reconnect. Yeah, because a lot of people are complaining right now. I'm going to reconnect. Okay.
Okay, Timothy, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes,
Good morning,
I can hear
sir.
you. Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning. How are you today?
I'm very fine, sir.
I'm very fine, sir.
Yeah, okay. I think we should just take it on from where Oge stopped. So please, kindly introduce yourself. I think that's the best way to do it. I would like you to introduce yourself so that everybody can get to know you.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Timothy.
My name is Timothy Aji.
I'm a statistician,
I'm a statistician on Benue Sectors Project.
Yes, and I'm a
Yes,
mentee
and I'm
on
a
the
mentee on the
SourceIn
SourceIn
Mentorship Program.
Mentorship Program.
About my academic
About my
background,
academic background, I have
a bachelor's degree in
bachelor's degree in
statistics and computer
statistics,
science, and also have a master's
also have
degree
a master's degree in statistics.
all from Freelancing.
All from Freelancing.
Okay.
Thank you.
So where are you speaking from this morning?
Well, I'm speaking from Makurdi,
Benue State.
Benue State.
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So let me ask you, how has it been so far? I mean, we've been like almost 2 months into the program. How would you describe your experience? What was your expectation before coming on board? And what is it looking like right now?
Yes, I can say my experience. I have an fantastic experience about the program. So far, we've started for over 2 months now. And the training we're receiving from the program is one of a kind. I must say, I must appreciate you for the opportunity you have given us. Prior before now, I've been on several online programs like this. But the specific one that can provide mentorship the way you are giving us now, I don't think there's any compared to yours. I must appreciate you for that. I am enrolled in the business analysis part and also in the data science part. So I am studying. I have been mentored on two parts: data science and the business analysis.
Oh, okay. So you mean you are taking two programs? I mean, two pathways, yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I'm aware some people are actually doing up to like 3 or 4 pathways. That's a good one. And let me ask you, how did you get to know about this program? And how did you register?
Yes, I got to know about the program when I was browsing online for companies that offer remote work. And I saw SourceIn there. So I jumped at the opportunity and registered on the website. So when I registered, 3 days later, I was sent an email that the company will be launching a mentorship program. If I'm interested, I should.
Wow, 2 years later. You mean 2 years later?
2 days. 2 days later. Sorry. 2 days later.
Okay. 2 days later.
Yes, 2 days later.
Yes,
so I got a mail. The company will be starting or launching a mentorship program. So I jumped at the opportunity and registered for the program. Registered for the business analysis part. When I registered for initially.
Okay.
So that was how I got to know about the program. How I registered on the mentorship program.
Okay. That's interesting. I think Oge is back. Are you there, Oge? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been talking to Timothy, trying to get to know how he get to know about the program, and trying to also sample his experience so far in the last 2 months. So you can just go ahead and continue.
Okay. So how has experience been so far in the last 3 months?
Well, the experience is fantastic. I must appreciate the mentors on the program. They are giving their best. Even though I must confess that some of us, the mentees, are not maybe taking it that serious.
Why do you think that is?
Probably because maybe the nature of people that have enrolled on the program, maybe most of us are workers. and we'll have to battle with our schedules with the work. And then the program, even though it's during the weekends, you know, as a worker, you have only the weekends for yourself. So you have to arrange and rearrange your schedules to fit it in perfectly. So I think that's basically the experience is good. It's very, very good, I must confess.
Okay. So do you think that with this experience and with what you've learned so far, do you think that at the end of it all, you'll be, you know, equipped enough to go out and occupy your space in the freelancing space?
Yes, I must say, confidently, I must say yes. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Before now, I've been sourcing for online programs or remote work. And the barrier had always been that those things are required for you to get into that space. We like them as Nigerians or Africans. So the program has exposed me to so many things I didn't know they existed. And I must say, the program has really prepared me to occupy my space in the remote world or the freelancing world.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's great. All right, so we're going to just really go back to Mr. Odusonya.
Yes, thank you, Oge. Thank you. So I've been listening to Timothy, and I must say that it's very refreshing to hear that you've had a good experience in the program, and I really appreciate that. And I will say this. So one of the things we intend to achieve with the mentorship program is to transfer concise skills. It's not focused on a textbook training, unlike what we have in the conventional education sector. What we intend to do is to equip our mentees with skills that can be transferred almost immediately. So it means that if you attend the mentorship program, you expect to garner some skills that can be useful for you in the immediate. So while you may not come out of the program as an expert data scientist or as an expert business analyst, you expect to have skills that can be transferred like in the immediate in industry. So the focus for us is to highlight on the key skills, on the critical skills, those things that you need to deliver in the real world. A lot of times when people undergo trainings, of course they are bombarded with a barrage of information. You get to study, given assignments, given scenarios, and what you end up getting is head knowledge, and you still are unable to break into industry. So having said that, the second thing that is our goal is to make training to make these skills available at no cost. Now, these things cost the business money, of course, as you all probably know. The trainers do not do this for free. The mentors also don't do this for free. Yeah, but this is being made available to the mentees by funds that we source from our sponsors, and so it's important for everyone to know that our vision is to upskill 5 million Africans in the next 5 years at no cost to them. At no cost to them, and it's a joy to hear that the experience is good, at least for our mentees like Timothy, and we do hope that we get more of this kind of good feedback.
That's great. Okay, so while you were speaking, you mentioned that the program has made sure that the knowledge we pass on to the mentees are programs that are skills that can be are skills that can be used. So how do you think that SourceIn has been able to carry out this particular vision, in the lives of these mentees? How have they been able to do that successfully? Because over time, we hear people say, oh, they had this course, they had that training, they had that program, they had that mentorship, but they realize that after everything, what is being taught cannot be transferred into actual knowledge. They can't really actually use what they've been taught. So how has SourceIn Business been able to do this efficiently such that when the mentees leave the program, the mentorship program, they're able to use the skills they have acquired?
Okay, thank you. So 2 things. Number 1, we have so arranged the curriculum in such a way that the focus is on transferable skills. the curriculum is so arranged that we do not spend time telling people what they can pick up on the internet. Because a lot of times when we hold such trainings, we spend time going through a 500-page volume, and we're trying to tell them what they can see on the internet, what you can do, what you can see from a simple Google search. So our focus by the curriculum is to pick out the things that are critical and run through them in the class. We hold the mentees by the hand, and we ensure that they grasp these key skills. So yes, number one is the curriculum. Number two is we have an arrangement for internship. For most of our programs, we intend to pick the best participants, as it were, the ones that are more active in the classes, and engage them as interns for those who are interested, because we know that many of our mentees work. They have a day job, like Mr. Timothy said. Some of them are bankers. We have some that are working in oil and gas. Some work for themselves. So for those interested, there's a plan to absorb them as interns, which means that after learning the skills that can be transferred immediately, they also go ahead to practice what they've learned as interns. We work we have about 10 companies on the group, and partner companies that are able to absorb these mentees as interns, and we will continue to grow our partnerships. That's probably one of my core areas of specialty, and that's what I bring to the table at SourceIn Business. I broker partnerships between SourceIn Business and other companies across the globe, and we are able to engage our mentees with those companies as interns. So yes, two things. First, we focus on the curriculum. Secondly, we try to engage them as interns, where they are able to put all they've learned into practice in the real world.
Okay, all right, that's great. Okay, Timothy, the information reaching me right now is that the echo sound is coming from your end. So if you don't mind, would it be okay if you perhaps reconnect and so see if you can get rid of the echo sound? It's a little disgusting.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Charles, we sincerely apologize for that. But we're doing everything we can to fix that echo. All right. So yeah, someone likes the echo sound, so we're doing everything we can to fix it. All right. Okay. So Mr. Odunsanya, so now that you've explained all of this to us, what is the impact this initiative have in the long run to the economy, the African economy, and of course the world at large?
Okay. Thank you, Yogi. So Mr. Femi and I, over the past couple of months, past 5-6 months, we've sat together and we've done some extensive research, and we found out that one of the reasons that Africa seemed to be sidelined, as it were, in the global outsourcing space is because we do not have the requisite skills to compete for the jobs of the future. So you find out that Nigeria is the second largest English-speaking country in the world after India, and Indians are represented, of course, by very far more than Nigerians on all outsourcing platforms. Now, this is not a problem of racism. It's not a problem of segregation. It's a skill deficiency problem. So by embarking on this course to upskill Africans, what will happen automatically is in the next 5-10 years, Africa will be able to take its place in that space. So now the top 20 the top 20 favorite countries in the outsourcing space are, of course, you find the US there, you find UK, you find India. I think India is even top 5. Now there's no reason that India can be top 5 and Nigeria is not even top 50 or top 60. So there's clearly a gap, a competence gap, and this is the gap that we intend to fill as SourceIn Business. So that's one reason that we came about the mentorship program, where we are able to upskill Africans and position them for the job of the future where people can work remotely, and this of course is bound to grow Africa's GDP. definitely, because we have a situation where people do not have to locate, don't have to leave their homes. We've got internet, and in the wake of COVID-19, it's now a norm. It's a norm for people to work remotely. So yeah, by embarking upon this, we are positioning Africa for the general of the future, and we're ensuring that the mentees and African youths are taking their place in this space.
That is a very interesting thing that you mentioned, the mentorship program and the mentees, right? But so now Africa is lacking in the entire world in the whole freelancing remote workspace. How can we get Africans, how can SourceIn Business get Africans to begin to take their place? Now we have a program like this mentorship program, which is absolutely free. That a lot of people can come on, have mentors to mentor them on certain skills, upskill themselves, acquire new skills as the case may be. But not many people are taking the advantage. Now, is it that they don't know the fact that there's gold out there, or that what exactly is, how can we get them to begin to take advantage of these programs so that they can take their space in the world?
Okay, thank you. So I think that SourceIn Business is relatively new in the space, and I must say that we are getting some traction. So today we have over 700 people in the first stream. We have about 1,000 waiting for the second stream. So we have 7 in the first stream. We are currently training about 700. And we have 1,000 in the second stream that should be starting in May. So our intention is to continue to spread the word, and that's one of the reasons that we've decided to engage our mentees, bring them on the live show, so they share their experiences and spread the word. So yeah, we're doing our best to spread the word, and I can assure you that in the next 6 months, we plan to have hit the 50,000 mark. Sorry, in the next 6 cohorts, 6 streams, so I've hit the 50,000 marks, and that will probably happen in the first 14 months or so. So yeah, we are where we are today, and we're grateful for the traction that we've gotten. Getting 700. In fact, there are initiatives that are sponsored by much larger bodies of the world, and did not even get 700 in the first stream. So having 700 in the first stream and 1,000 waiting students for the second stream, I think it's a feat to be proud of, if you ask me.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right. Since you mentioned mentees right now, I'm going to talk to Mr. Timothy for a moment. Hi, Mr. Timothy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. All right, so go ahead and tell us. So if you were to if you were to tell somebody else to come join you at the SourceIn Business Mentorship Program, what would be that thing? Now, a lot of people might have had mentorship program all over the place. Now, what would be the one thing you would sell to your colleague or the people you're wanting to introduce this mentorship program to? What is the one thing you're going to say to them that they supersede others? What was the one thing you're going to say to them?
Oh, the first thing I'll sell to them, the first thing is, first of all, it is free. No hidden charges. I must say that. There are no hidden charges whatsoever, free of charge. And the program, all the parts during the weekends. That's another plus.
Okay.
So if you're able to manage your time very well, you should be able to participate actively in the program. And the mentors that we have on the programs too, they are excellent. It's as if the program has started before. It's not as if it's the first stream. So I must give kudos to Mr. Femi for a perfect organization. I must appreciate them for that. They have thought it out very well, and the delivery is seamless.
That's great. I have this comment from Ademola Adetunji, and he said that I believe more has to be done as regards spreading the word about the benefits of enrolling. Mr. Olatunji, do you want to respond to that? That's what he said.
Okay, Olusan. Okay, so yeah, I guess you were referring to.
Sorry, I missed your name. Sorry about that.
It's fine. Okay, so one of the things that we're doing towards the next stream, we're engaging ambassadors, because we intend to focus now more on people in the universities, in our institutions. So we're engaging ambassadors, and I'm using this opportunity to call for to invite ambassadors who are interested in this vision to approach us. So what we intend to do in the immediate is to bring on ambassadors from universities, from polytechnics, from all teaching institutions all over the world, all over Africa, and through those ambassadors, of course, they will work with SourceIn Business, and they will be engaged to spread the word to their colleagues in school, because we intend to get to the point where we would have trained 5 million Africans in the next 5 years. In 5 years' time, the guys in under level now will probably be serving, some will be working. Yes, so the people that are the students now that are probably in high school, secondary school, will probably be in university. So it only makes sense to start from there. So that's one of the ways that we intend to spread the word and to kind of grow the following in this program. So yes, we're starting with 5 ambassadors in the next stream, and 5 ambassadors spread across Africa. And with those 5 ambassadors, we want to use that as a pilot to test how this works. So that's our plan in the immediate to spread the word.
That's great. That's great. All right. So moving forward now, as a coordinator, from your perspective, what is business analysis?
Oh, okay. So business analysis. So this is something that I'm very excited about. I've been privileged to worked with startups, worked with individuals, and they've done quite a lot in this space over the past 15, 20 years. And I must say that the most important thing to do now is to bust some myths about business analysis. There are so many myths that the ordinary person holds on to. Now, the first thing I'll say here is you don't have to be a subject matter expert or an expert in any field to be a business analyst. So an engineer can be a business analyst, but you do not have to be an engineer. I've heard people say things like, to be a business analyst in the banking industry, you have to be an expert banker, or you have to be a business analyst in the research center, you have to have a PhD. But it's not true. It's not true. By all standards, it's not true. So first thing, you do not have to be a subject matter expert to be a business analyst. Now, the discipline of business analysis is very wide, it's very vast. And like Mr. Timothy said earlier on, if you go the path, he was saying that you register for business analysis first, but you later took some other modules. I think he's now on data science as well, and he does business analysis. Now, the discipline is wide because it encompasses many sub-disciplines. So there's a bit of data analysis and business analysis. There's a bit of product management, a bit of project management, a bit of business intelligence. So it's a discipline that helps you get well-rounded in the business domain. So now I'll move on to say the second thing. The second thing is this: you do not necessarily have to hold the title business analyst to be working as a business analyst. I explained this extensively in the last session. You can go on YouTube to see, to watch the class. We have all the classes on YouTube. So in the first session we had about 2-3 weeks ago, I remember telling the class that you don't have to hold the title business analyst before you are referred to as one. Because in industry, you find that in industry, some people, some of the guys who do business analysis work, all titles such as business systems analyst, some are even engineers. In fact, in the telecom domain where I was privileged to work for over a decade, the people that work as business analysts are those who mostly are engineers. As a matter of fact, some of them are sales specialists, but that's the role that's the title, pardon me, that they're there. But the role actually is business analysis, and this is one thing that seems to confuse a lot of guys looking to come into the space. So they want to wait until they see a job title that says business analyst before they want to apply and say I work as a business analyst. But I'm saying today that in the industry, in the real world, if you see 10 people doing business business analysis work, maybe 3 or 4 of them will have the role business analyst.
Okay.
So it's important for us to understand that when you're looking to break into that domain, you will not necessarily get a role titled business analyst.
Okay.
So the long and short of all of this is, whosoever does business analysis work is a business analyst. Whether you're called an engineer, or you're called a scientist, or you're called a pharmacist, you're called a doctor, whosoever does business analysis work is a business analyst. So and that's what I refer to as the role versus function approach to it. So this is just like a very, very short overview. Of course, we can go on and on about this.
So do you need a specific skill or a specific qualification or a specific, what exactly do you need? A skill do you need to scale up or even start, that role, to operate properly in that role?
Okay. So thank you. So no doubt there are certain online competencies that are required to thrive in this space. But before I go on to those ones, I want to say this, that over the past 3-4 years, I've been working with mentees, and the bulk of them are people who do not have a degree, or who do not have a business inclined or a tech degree, but who are broken into the space of business analysis. As a matter of fact, the focus of the mentorship program that I used to run personally was to help people transition into tech via business analysis. And they are not required to have a degree. As a matter of fact, I've worked with guys that have degrees in the arts, maybe a degree in dance, for instance, or a degree in psychology, a degree in sociology. Now, you can become a business analyst regardless of what you studied in school. However, you need some underlying competencies. And the key competency is analytical skills. It's important for an aspiring business analyst to be inclined towards analysis. So it means that because in the industry you get to elicit, you speak with stakeholders, you collaborate with stakeholders, and one of the things that you do as a business analyst is you engage, you talk a lot. You're always holding sessions, interview sessions, mind mapping, brainstorming sessions. You're doing a lot of analysis. You are attending meetings. You are engaging stakeholders. You are drafting contracts. It's important. It's critical, in fact, for an aspiring business analyst to have analytical skills, or at least be inclined towards them, so that you can easily pick them up. So what I'll say is, regardless of your degree or the class of degree, or whether or not you have a degree, even, you can break the industry as long as you have first and foremost analytical skills. So I think I shouldn't speak too much to this. If you want to hear more, you can come and join the internship program, or see our videos on the internet. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great. Okay, so and this person asks the question, and that's Joseph. He says, what do you need to become a business analyst? I believe that has to do with the skill that is required too.
Okay, yes, that's fine. So I think that I will just build upon that for a bit, so that it's clearer. So apart from the fact that you need to have underlying analytical skills, it's important also to undergo training. Now, training, one, mentoring, two. Now, training and mentoring are two different things. Now, training is something that you can undergo by yourself. You can watch YouTube videos. You can watch YouTube videos. You can pick up a book and read. But mentoring is much more important, and in the sense that a mentor is one who holds you by the hand and shows you by doing. So mentor holds you by the hand and shows you by doing. So yeah, you've gone through some training. I know people who have gone through lots of trainings, who have paid thousands of dollars for these trainings. They bought books, they read, but they're still struggling to break into that space because they do not have a mentor. In fact, about a year ago, I worked with someone who lives in the US, and he has spent money and spent about 18 months studying a lot of material on business analysis, even prepared for the certification, but found it difficult to break to the industry. And we had a like a 4-week mentorship session, maybe span over a period of 15 hours, and I was able to get 3 jobs in that space in about 6 weeks. Now, mentoring is very key. So apart from training, apart from reading books and attending, watching YouTube videos, attending meetings, you need to work with a mentor, and that mentor will hold you by the hand and show you how it's done in the real world. Because it's one thing to read how it's done in case scenarios. It's a different thing entirely to now do that. And that's why I said initially that on the SourceIn Mentorship Program, we have a plan to absorb students as interns. So after that, you have gone through the training, we give you opportunity to be mentored by way of internship. So we absorb, for instance, 5 people in the class as interns. What it means is all that you've learned, yeah, that's fine. You cannot put them into practice in the real world. So day to day, you have real life projects to work on. You have superiors, people that have worked in the space for some time to hold you by the hand and show you out. So these things are very important. So apart from the skills that you need to have training and mentorship.
That's interesting. All right, so you more or less have dived into the question I was going to ask you. So as a coordinator and the people who have gone through this training and through this mentorship, after the training process, there is the mentorship process whereby they are observed and led by mentors by the hand to make sure that what they have learned, what the knowledge that has been transferred can be actually used. Now, where do you see these mentees after they're done with sourcing business? Where do you see these mentees, even taking the next 5 years? Where do you see them?
Okay, so I think at this point I will get a little bit philosophical. So I think that business and analysis skills is something that can be utilized in various fields of industry. And I can say that I've met so many of them that after the training and the mentorship, they go on to do great things in many different industries and fields. So what I'm saying in essence is, the fact that you've gone through this training doesn't mean you land the role or a role title business analyst. You might go on to work as a consultant. You might go on to work in the startup space, leveraging the skills that you have garnered. Don't forget what I said. Whoever does business analysis work is a business analyst. So whether you're doing that in banking or in oil and gas, or doing that in IT or in telecom or in the tech subsector. So whoever has gone through this training, most of them will go ahead to work in different fields of industry, utilizing the skills that they have learned. So this is not just us training you or mentoring you to end up with a job title.
I want to interject right there, just a moment. I just want to interject right there. There are people who've been known to parade themselves and carry themselves as specifically business analysts. That is their title. Every other, they just walk around and say they call themselves business analysts. That's what they do. It's their title. Some of them are freelancers. Some of them work in brick and actual regular buildings. Now, how can a mentee going forward after the mentorship and the training? How can they? That is, if that's what they want to do, how can they, market themselves as business analysts without? Because you mentioned here right now that as long as you're doing the job of a business analyst, it doesn't matter if you have the title, you are a business analyst. But there are people, you know how it is with packaging and all of that. There are people who sell themselves as business analysts. Now, whether or not the company who should hire them have someone who is doing the job already is inconsequential right now. The bottom line is they think they are hiring someone who is professional, who has experience, who has some other skill as a business analyst. So how can a mentee from sourcing business going forward into the world as a freelancer market themselves, sell themselves as a business analyst and be taken seriously?
Okay, so thank you, Yogi. So I'll respond to this by saying that after going through this program, this mentorship program, you would have acquired some very key skills. And what I think makes sense, for any mentee coming from the sourcing program, is to identify their areas of core competence and deploy that in the freelancing space. Now, like I've said before, so yeah, you were talking about people going about saying that they are business analysts. So I won't blame those people. I think that there's a general misconception globally.
Okay.
You go on LinkedIn, you go on the internet, and you see job posts, job adverts, and at times it's funny. You see some companies say we're hiring for a business analyst / project manager. Some will even say business analyst / project manager / product manager, and it just seems like they don't have a clue what they're doing. So yet there are organizations, especially in Canada and the US, who hire business analysts and who kind of understand what they should be doing. But then more importantly is for any mentee to identify their areas of core competence. Now, I was engaging some people on YouTube recently, and one of the questions that came up was that, how do you differentiate between business analysis, business analytics, and data analysis? And the reason that came up is, a lot of times when you get employed as a business analyst, what you'll be doing in that organization is a lot of times not even close to what you think you're coming to do. There are guys who have been hired as a business analyst and they go on to do work of data analysts. Some of them not do data visualization. When it comes to complain, sir, mentor, this is not right. Now, what I say is those things that you do are splinters. They're splinters. Those things are things. Those are the areas where your competence is required. But all of those things come together to form the body of knowledge that business analysis represents. So it's something that I feel anybody aspiring to come to this space should understand. It's a very vast industry, very vast discipline, and that many subliminal skills that come into play, like a bit of data analysis. Now I know guys who do business analysis, and what they do is just requirements synthesis or engineering, if you will. And they work with requirements. They gather requirements from stakeholders. They work with government to elicit requirements, and they communicate requirements to their business head. Now that is a very small fraction of business analysis. So it is critical for us to understand that if you want to break into that space, you must identify your areas of core competence and deploy those competencies in that area within the confines of that area. So it means that if your area of competence is crunching numbers, like Mr. Timothy who studied statistics and computer science, I'm sure you have some competence in crunching numbers. If he's going into the business analysis space, he might choose to focus more on the data side to things. People who are much more inclined towards strategy, they might focus more on strategy analysis. Now these are subdomains, these are techniques, these are skills that come together to make that one body. So again, I'll say that it's important for us. The best way to break into the freelancing space after this program is identify your area of core competence, be it data analysis, be it data visualization, be it requirements engineering, be it strategies, business strategy, be it stakeholder engagement. These are areas of core competence, that you will need as standalone skills. So you might end up getting a job that will refer to you as a business analyst, but the truth is you will still need to zoom in on certain areas of competencies. And I was saying, okay, before I move on to the next thing, I was saying a couple of weeks back at the mentorship session that in most companies, in most businesses, you have more than one person performing the function of a business analyst. In some cases, you have 5 people, you have 7 people. So in some cases, you have the GM, you have the director, you have the operations manager, and they are all doing some part of the business analysis work. So the GM comes in the morning and says that, Timothy, can you engage IT and gather XYZ requirements? So okay, sir. And he engages somebody else say, "Oh, Steve, can you go to IT and do X?" Now they are all doing business analysis work, but there's not one person referred to as a business analyst. So I think this is critical for us to understand, because this is one of the reasons that people get frustrated. They spend so much money training, so much time training, then now they end up waiting to get a job title that will say business analyst.
That's interesting. That's interesting. All right. So thank you for all of the things that you shared with us today. But before we go, from your thoughts, what is the future of SourceIn business in the freelancing space?
Okay, so I think the future for us is very clear. It's very, very, very bright. Now we have our own freelancing platform. We have the SourceIn business freelancing platform where we onboard our mentees. So now, beyond training you, beyond giving you all of these skills, beyond the internship, so we'll train you, we'll mentor you. There's an internship opportunity for you. We also onboard you to our SourceIn business platform where you can actually get jobs, international jobs. So now we don't train you, mentor you, and leave you to go fix yourself, quote unquote. We have a platform where mentees are absorbed as well. Now they are absorbed on the platform, and they can now create gigs. They can source for jobs on our own platform within the SourceIn business space. So yes, that is our own way of ensuring that after going through the training process and the mentorship process, you have the opportunity to sell the skills that you've learned. Now, if you're not sure that we are giving you the required skills, we will not be confident to bring you on our platform and promote your skills as it were. So because of that, I feel this also goes a long way in ensuring that our mentees practice what they have learned from the program.
Fantastic. And this person, Aragoshola Omotoya, says, great thoughts. How do you become part of this program? That's a question.
Okay, so thank you, Amotayo. So you can go to sourcein.business/mentorship. The URL is scrolling on the screen now. sourcein.business/mentorship. The first cohort, unfortunately, is filled up, so we're no longer taking candidates for the first cohort. But please go register. We'll reach out to you for the second cohort, and I'm sure you have a great time.
All right. I hope you got that, Amotayo. All right, Mr. Timothy, to you. What is the last thing you want to say to Africans who are aspiring to, get into the freelancing space, but for some reason they have a cold feet or are confused about where to start, something like that? What are your thoughts? What do you want to say to them?
Yes, what I want to say is, first of all, you have to enroll on a SourceIn business. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to enroll. It gives you that free platform to build yourself and to make yourself active online. They have very good mentors. They have very good mentors on the program, and the schedule, which are weekends, are very good time for us to learn. So I would advise, if you want to get a remote work, it's not all about getting the skills. I've learned that from experience. You must have a mentor that will hold you by hand and lead you through the way. I think SourceIn business is doing that perfectly well. I must appreciate them for that.
All right, Mr. Timothy, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your thoughts with us. And Mr. Odusonya, thank you as well for stopping by and for honoring us with your presence. But before you go, I want to ask one more question. And someone just dropped that question, not here on the other platform. It says that for someone who's trying to get involved in business, analysis, to be a business analyst, you mentioned earlier that you need to have an analytical mind, and they don't have an analytical mind. What can they do to develop an analytical mind to be able to get on the freelancing space as a business analyst?
Okay, so thank you. I think that the business analysis discipline encompasses so many subdomains, in the sense that you can choose to not work in the very analytical aspects. For instance, in that space, we have people who deal with requirements. Matter of fact, you will see some job roles where they say that they're looking for a requirements engineer, analyst, so to speak. Now, a lot of times, people that are not so inclined towards analytics, who do not like to crunch numbers, who do not like to write code, they are the ones that prefer the other domains. So they prefer to engage stakeholders to synthesize requirements, to gather requirements, review the requirements, validate requirements, communicate requirements. So I think requirement synthesis, requirement analysis is one of the ways that one of the areas of business analysis that you can actually go into if you don't have a knack for numbers. So of course, I do not believe that there's a skill that can't be learned if you do not have if you're not inclined towards analysis. And I know there's a lot of times people in Nigeria, for instance, there are people who have never liked mathematics. Anything numbers scares them. So when you say analytics, the first thing that comes to mind is numbers, code. I've had many students asking, so do I have to write code? Do I have to know Java? Do I have to know some programming language? But it's not always so. So it might be that this person thinks that to do anything analysis in the tech space, you must be able to write code. It's not true. So the things that requires code, definitely, if you want to do more of data analysis, you probably have to learn some basic code. For Power BI, maybe some DAX language, and for Power BI, using Tableau, some basic commands. Yeah. So there are some areas of analysis that requires that. But on a general scale, speaking generally, it's not compulsory. It's not even required that you are inclined towards numbers. So I think this should help for a bit.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dusonya. Thank you for coming. Let's see if we have more questions before we round up today's edition. Great thoughts. How do you okay? That question has been answered. Thank you, Montaya, for that. Christian Ujegbi says, "Oh, I came in late. Oh well, next week come in early so you don't miss out on everything." All right. The question have been answered. Okay. And this one says, from Joseph, he says, "I love the way he breaks down business analysis." Well, thank you for that. Okay. All right. We don't have any more questions. So, Mr. Dusonya, thank you so much for coming on here. And yes, if you came in late today, so sorry about that, but we'll be back again next week on Wednesday. The time is 10 a.m. You can join us. You can share the link. You can, connect with us on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can get to be a part of okay. So just go on. Akilabi Akimbo says you send the site URL again. Okay, just go through those messages scrolling on your screen. Just click on it and take it directly to the page that you need to be at. All right. So it is upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years, and we have come to the end of today's edition. We'll be back next Wednesday, as I said before, at 10 a.m. Do not be late and do not miss it, because if you miss out, you miss out on so many other things. All right. My name is Oge Mark, and I will see you next week. Bye.